Steve, you guys are going to be down on site in Tampa for ESPN NFL Countdown. What are your thoughts on that game? Cowboys versus Buccaneers.
Well, the Cowboys should win the Super Bowl. They have a Super Bowl. Like Jerry Jones told you all year, I have a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah, we've heard plenty from him.
Yes,
I,
yes, he
I,
likes
I
to
feel
say
like
that.
I feel like that's reasonable statement,
Yep.
It is.
but it doesn't come out in its actual usefulness. We get this up and down, this mercurial kind of flashes of brilliance, and then wandering, and it has to be like any team that doesn't show the kind of requisite grit every week to go and kind of reprove how great you are. They're missing something in the locker room. And most of the time, it's not talent. It's somehow how the interaction of the group doesn't, and the leadership doesn't bring forward the grit that's necessary to go every week and prove we have a Super Bowl roster and let's go. We will not give an inch. And there's something missing. And I would love it to catch fire. And sometimes it's fake it till you make it because you don't have it till you have it. And so, a win in Tampa and another win because they need it, and then they go, get to the Super Bowl. And then all of a sudden they have those missing ingredients of grit that they've been missing for, and if you ask me, for decades.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's how I feel about the Cowboys. I would not be shocked if they're phenomenal
Mm-hmm.
and really ran the table in the NFC. Wouldn't shock me. But it also wouldn't shock me if they get beat this weekend by a Buck team that can't run the football, can't really protect, can't get downfield and get open very much. I mean, Mike Evans did a couple of times recently, but has no separation. A defense that's okay. Like, other than if Tom Brady wasn't there, you'd talk about the Bucs as like,
Absolutely.
Yep.
but Tom's there, so game on.
Yeah.
Would I be shocked if Tom ran the table? No, but with that team right now, whew, that's some heavy weight that's on his shoulders.
Yeah. And Steve, about that grit, do you think that's going to have to come from the coaches, or is that going to be a player that steps up and is
Look,
finally like?
I've said this before, and I kind of still believe it. When you put on a Dallas Cowboy jersey, you're famous, and you haven't earned it. You, the person, haven't earned it. And I think that generally this idea that the Cowboys are important when you haven't earned it, like everyone else in the league has to go earn that importance, but the Cowboys somehow get given it. And like anything, if I earned the money for my bike when I was 10 years old, I love that bike a lot more than if somebody gave it to me. Right. So it's just simple as that in some ways in my mind. And I think they have to go earn, and then I think that's when it'll come into that locker room. And I also would love, if Mike McCarthy's going to stick around to give until Jerry gives the head coach the full measure of authority. So the players in the locker room know that if the head coach tells you something, that's the way it is. But the problem is head coach says something and the players are like, well, I don't know if that's the way it is. Let's go check with Jerry to see how it really is. I just think it's a bad system.
And that's why I think that matchup in particular is so intriguing because the variance of result is so wide. I could easily see the Bucs blowing the Cowboys out and vice versa. And I think the Week 18 showing from the Dallas Cowboys losing to the Washington Commanders, who were starting a 5th-round rookie making his first start in a game where you were the Cowboys, you had something to play for. You were still alive for the NFC East title with a win over Washington, and you just completely lay an egg heading into the playoffs. That doesn't bode well for their chances to me.
How can you explain that? Explain that to me. I mean,
I was hoping you would be able to, Steve, because
I've been screaming into the wind that this team is missing the requisite grit, and then they do that, and then everybody yells at me, "Oh, they're the best ever!" I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I think at least I have an answer for it. I don't know how to get there, but I think I understand the problem.
Thanks for checking out this segment of Simple Question. For the full episode, click here. And be sure to check out the rest of our channel. For more great and original content, head to bvmsports.com. And as always, thanks for watching.